Hey, uploading for a second day in a row. You guys like my haircut? I'm bald. Today I want to talk about Sabikui Bisco. I think that's how you pronounce it. You've probably never seen a show with a setting like this before. I know I haven't. There's a lot going on here. It's a post-apocalyptic Japan. All right, if you watch anime, you've probably seen that before. Lots of desert. You know, there's a lot of shows out there that call themselves post-apocalyptic, but they're really just apocalyptic shows, something like The Walking Dead. Feels like, you know, even 10 years after a zombie outbreak starts, it's not really like, I don't know, it still feels apocalyptic, not really post-apocalyptic. Anyway, but in Sabikui Bisco, I don't really think they give a general time. I haven't noticed them give a time frame of when the terrible apocalypse started. So it feels like it's generations away. There's ruined cities and deserts, and they don't really explicitly say what caused society to collapse, but it probably has something to do with the rusting. You see, for some reason, people have started rusting. Not everyone. It's like a disease. I think it's an anaerobic disease. I'm not sure how. Don't take me on that. I just heard the word aerobic in the audiobook for The Expanse, and I wanted to sound smart and use the word. It's probably not anaerobic. It's some weird disease. I'm not really sure how it spreads. I think you have to get it from like touching something out in the wild that's gonna give you rust, but you don't like give it to other people. I'm not really sure how it works, but like it will kill you. You will rust to death. But then there's the way to stop the rusting is by giving people various mushrooms. But mushrooms are illegal in a lot of places. It's out of focus. There it is. All right. But mushrooms are illegal in a lot of places because there's these, I forget what they're called specifically. I forget the official technical name, but I've been calling them mushroom terrorists because they're often doing terrorism with mushrooms. One of the characters we follow is a guy named Bisco, and he has a bow and arrow, and he shoots it. He shoots out a mushroom that like explodes. Like a mushroom will grow instantaneously and level a city block. It's pretty potent, pretty powerful stuff. It's interesting. Haven't seen anything like that before. So it's an apocalypse. There's mushrooms. There's some crazy mushroom stuff happening. But the third weird thing is the animals. There's a lot of crazy animals in this. Giant crabs of various sizes. Lots of animal machine hybrids. There is a point, I think, in one of the first 2 episodes where they say, they've released the hippopotamuses. And there's just a horde of is it hippopotami? Anyway, there's a bunch of freaking hippos. And they have like guns strapped to them. And they're running, chasing this guy. There's a giant slug plane, like dropship. I thought that was cool. There was a giant hermit crab with guns on it that was the size of a city. That was awesome. You know, having those elements, you know, is one thing. Properly introducing them is another. As far as I remember, no one has gone on a long monologue about why the machine animal hybrids are a thing and what their purpose is. They just exist, and people don't ever feel the need to over-explain that. And it's like, thank you, anime. You don't always have to do that. But that's not just the machine animals. You know, it's like that. It has a very good natural way of introducing all of its concepts. Feels like everything is really well introduced. The show itself is pretty good too. Lots of cool characters, but I think the setting is really what's going to sell most people and get the ball rolling for them. Just a lot of interesting creatures in this world. Lots of cool, like mushroom bow and arrow. It's like mushroom terrorism. Like you don't see that a whole lot. It's pretty cool. I've never seen it before. The rusting, that's interesting. You know, definitely seen apocalypse shows that, you know, there's a disease involved, but this just seems on another level. You know, the rusting is a bit more interesting. I'd check if I were you. I'd check out Sabikui Bisco. It's on Crunchyroll. It's on Funimation. It's on VRV. It's all there. Yeah, that's about it. Sabikui Bisco's just got a really interesting world.